the rule how there may be a transfer for the benefit of one person. What it says? For transfer for the benefit of one person, there must be an intermediary. Intermediary person, there must be a person who will hold that property in trust during his lifetime and after his death. If the child is born, then he or she will get the property. The second requirement is that the child will get the property in absolutely. There cannot be any further restriction in enjoyment of interest or getting interest of the property by the person who takes birth after during after the cessation of the prior interest. What section 13 says? Where on a transfer property an interest therein is created for the benefit of a person not in existence at the date of the transfer. So there is a transfer. Transfer of property, you should understand the definition of transfer property. What is? Transfer of property means what? By an act by which a living person conveys property in present and future to one or more living person. So here, where on a transfer of property, an interest is created in favor of a person who is not in existence. Not in existence means is not born. Subject to a prior interest created by the same transfer. In that transfer, in the same transfer, a prior interest is created. Then the interest created for the benefit of such person means who was not in existence, shall not take effect unless it extends to the whole of the remaining interest of the transferor in the property. That means when a transfer is made for the benefit of another person, there must be an intermediate person. You will hold the property in trust, and after the cessation of that interest, that trust, or after the death of that person, the entire property will go, the whole of the remaining interest of the transferor means the entire whole absolute, the urban person, the person after taking birth, you will get the absolute right over that property. So this section 13 explains the rule that there can be a transfer for the benefit of one person by creating a prior interest, and such transfer for the benefit entire whole of the remaining interest of the transferor means that means the one person on taking birth on taking birth will get the property with absolute right. So that's the illustration will make you clear. A transfers property of which he is the owner. A is the owner of a property. He transfers the property to B in trust for him. First, he transfer that property to be in a trust and his intended wife successively for their lives. If B marries, B's intended wife, she will get the property for life, and after the date of the survivor, for the eldest son of the intending marriage for life. So, eldest son of the intending marriage for life, that means all of the remaining interest of the transferor were not transferred to that son. So that's why this transfer will not take effect. So this son, eldest son, will not get the property. So this section 13, the rule laid down this section is applicable to movable property also. So here transfer, it doesn't say that on transfer of only movable property. This section 13 is applicable as both to movable property and immovable property. What is the principle? The principle behind this section is that a person disposing property to another shall not fetter the free disposition of property. That when a property is disposed of, transferred for the benefit of another person, then the transferor cannot fetter, cannot create hindrance, or cannot restrict the right of the transfer. So that's why at least the there may be tie of property for one generation only. That is during with the intermediary. During the intermediary, he can hold the property for life. That is for that generation, it is tied up. Thereafter, the property will go absolutely to the person who is born. So, not in existence means that is a Latin term, child and venture somewhere is considered to be in existence. What is so here? Even when a child is in mother's womb, from that gestation period will be counted as per the provisions of section 40. It's even a child adopted after a man's death in pursuance of a power given by him is in contemplation of law begotten by that man. So if a child is not only birth, even a big adopted child. The fact that unborn children of donors share in the property is immediate so long as section 13 and 14 are not. Now, this is section 13. Now, probably you understood the provisions of section 13. There can be transfer for the benefit of one person. There when an intermediary, through an intermediary, that means through a trustee, he will hold the property in trust, and after his death, whole of the remaining interest, after the cessation of that trust, whole of the remaining interest will go to the what? That the person who is born. Now, section 14. Rule against perpetuity. What is perpetuity? Perpetuity, what do you mean by perpetuity? For an indefinite period. Forever. The dictionary meaning of perpetuity, what? Continuing for ever. That is, perpetuity, dictionary meaning is continuing forever. So, what section 14 says? No transfer of property can operate to create an interest which is to take effect after the lifetime of one or more person living at the date of such transfer, and the minority of some person who shall be in existence at the expiration of that period, and to whom, if he attains full age, the interest created is to belong. So section 13 and section 14 are interconnected. We cannot, unless you refer section 13, unless you refer the provisions in section 13, you cannot understand the provisions of section 14. So here what it says, when a transfer is made for the benefit of an unborn person through an intermediary, the vesting of that property cannot be delayed beyond the lifetime of the trustee, that means intermediary, and the period of minority, the minority period of the child who is born. If any condition is put, extending this period, then that is affected by the rule against perpetuity. What it says? No transfer of property can operate. So if create an interest, there cannot be a transfer by which an interest will be created, which will to take effect after the lifetime of one or more person living at the date of such transfer. Lifetime of one or more persons, there may intermediary person, the trustee may be one or more persons. Suppose A may transfer for the benefit of one person. Like this, A may transfer to B for life, C for life, and then D for life, and then this son. the property will go absolutely to this son if he is born. So here B, C, D, if all are living on the date of transfer, they will be that is valid because they are the candle burning simultaneously. All may die. So at least one generation, all those three B, C, D, after their death, this son will get the property. So no transfer property can operate to create an interest which is to take effect after the lifetime of one or more person living at the date of such transfer and the minority of some person who shall be in existence. That the minority of some person, if that person is existence. If that person is not existence, the transfer will fail. As if for the benefit of one person. If he is not born, the transfer will fail. That means the property will come back to the transferor. So here, for the benefit of be in existence at the expiration of that period, and to whom if he attend full age, only that is this rule against perpetuity says. So section 14 says, when a transfer is made for the benefit of one person, then the vesting of the property cannot be delayed beyond the lifetime of the intermediaries and the period of minority if the child is born. If there is any condition exceeding this period, then for vesting of this property, then that is hit by that condition in the transfer is hit by the provisions of section 14, that is rule against perpetuity. So rule against perpetuity, why it is there? Perpetuity means the dictionary meaning, as you know, it is a forever. If the child is born, so here there is a difference. There is some slight difference in the rule against perpetuity in between Indian law and English law. In the English law, the vesting of property can be delayed, but during the lifetime of more intermediaries and 21 years. But here in India, during the lifetime of the intermediaries and the minority of the child if born. Minority child if born. So here the case law is that there is a gestation period will also be added to the period of minority. As you know, if a guardian has been appointed for a minor, the period of minority is 21 years in India. But if a guardian is not appointed, then the period of minority will be treated as 18 years. So now you are clear. This is rule against perpetuity. So when a transfer is made in favor of for the benefit of not favor, it will be always you should use the word for the benefit of one person, creating prior interest in favor of one or more living persons, and then to the person who is not born. Then the vesting of such property, such transfer cannot be delayed beyond the lifetime of the intermediary persons who hold the property and the minority period of the child if he is born. The difference in English law and Indian law is that in English law, the period has been prescribed at 21 years, but in India, the period of minority is that if a person in respect of a minor, no guardian has been appointed, then his minority period is 18 years. But if a guardian has been appointed by court, he will be treated as major at the age of 21 years. So now you are clear. So if that is rule against perpetuity, if any condition is violated, that such a transfer cannot be made. Now, section 15 makes it clear. 15 and 16 also, if you will go through section 16, that will say, where by reason of any of the rules contained in section 13 and 14. Section 13 says, whole of the remaining interest will be transferred to the person who is not born. There will be an intermediary. That transfer will be made through an intermediary who will hold the property in trust. Section 14 says the vesting of property cannot be delayed beyond the lifetime of the one or more intermediaries and the minority of the person. So section 16 says, where by reason of any of the rules contained in section 13 and 14, an interest created for the benefit of a person or of a class of persons fails in regard to such person or the whole of such class, any interest created in the same transaction and intended to take effect after or upon the failure of such prior interest also fails. So interest which will take effect after such failure of such interest, that will also fail. So section 15, you should understand what it says. Transfer to class, some of whom come under section 13 and 14. What is class? Class mean in a group, not in a name. Suppose children, grandchildren, niece, or these nephews. So in a class, if on a transfer of property and interest therein is created for the benefit of a class of persons, if a interest has been created for the benefit of a class of persons, with regard to some of whom such interest fails by reason of any of the rules contained in section 13 and 14, by virtue of in view of the provisions in section 13 and 14, in interest failed in respect of a particular person, such interest fails in respect of those persons only and not regard to the whole class. For an example, X transfers property for the benefit of his grandchildren who are not born through L as appointing batch trustee. X transfer property to L for life and thereafter to his son's children, putting a condition that that they will get the property after 21 years. So here, one of the child, two of the children will get the property after 18 years. So here what it says, if on a transfer property, one third child will get the property on attending 21 years. So in such case, so that is hit by the provisions of section 14. So in such case, the other two children, the interest of other two children will not be affected, because what it says, if on a transfer property and interest therein is created for the benefit of a class of persons, some children, some daughters, and with regard to some of whom such interest fails, with regard to one daughter or one son, his interest fails by reason of any rules contained in section 13. Suppose 13 or 14. One of the third son will not get the property absolutely, but other two sons will get. So here, such interest fails in regard to those persons only and not in regard to the whole class. But prior to that, has been amended by section 9. Previously, prior to this amendment, if any person was failing to get the property due to the contravention of the provision of section 13 and 14, when such a transfer is made in favor of a class of person, all the persons of that class were not getting the property. By amending this section in the year 1929, provision not made. What was made? If on a transfer of property and interest therein is created for the benefit of a class of persons with regard to some of whom such interest fails by reason of any of the rules contained in section 13-14, then such interest will not fail in respect of the entire class of persons, but it will fail in respect of those persons only whose transfer is hit by the provisions of section 13 and 14 and not in regard to the whole class. This is section 15. So now 13, 14, 15 and 16. This is section 17 is a direction for accumulation. What is direction for accumulation? That when a property is transferred, where the terms of a transfer property directs, when there is a transfer by one person to another, and the terms, there is a condition in the transfer that the income of that property will be accumulated. Accumulated cannot be used, accumulated for a longer period than the life of the transferor or a period of 18 years from the date of the transfer. Such direction shall be void, save as exceptions provided in the section. What it says? When there is a transfer, and in that transfer there is a direction that the income arising of the property transferred will be accumulated. Accumulated for how long? Exceeding the lifetime of the transferor or a period of 18 years from the date of the transfer, or a period of 18 years from the date of the transfer. So here, such direction shall, save as hereinafter provided, be void to the extent to which the period during which the accumulation is directed exceed the longer of the aforesaid periods, and at the end of such last mentioned period, the property and the income thereof shall be disposed of as if the period during which the accumulation has been directed to be made had elapsed. So if such a on this direction has been made, then after expiry of that period, then the property will be enjoyed as if the direction, the period of direction has elapsed. This section shall not affect any direction for accumulation for the payment of debts of the transferor or any other person taking an interest under the transfer. That means there may be direction for accumulation of the income of the property transferred beyond the lifetime, of the transferor or 18 years, when such accumulation is for the payment of debts of the transferor or any other person taking an interest under the transfers of any other person is taking an interest, or the provisions of portions of children. Portions of children means for maintenance or for educational expense of the children, or remote issue of the transferor, remote issue, grandchildren, children, transferor, or of any other person taking an interest under the transfer, or the preservation or maintenance of the property transfer. For maintenance or preservation of the property transfer, there can be direction exceeding the period of the lifetime of the transferor or 18 years. And such direction may be made accordingly. So now I covered the section 17 in just in a nutshell, but in the next class we'll try to learn the provisions of the section 17 in detail. Thank you, everybody. Today we conclude our classes. Any question? Yes, you try. Section 13 says only two principles. There can be transfer for the benefit of one person. For the benefit of one person, there may be intermediaries. That means some person to hold the property. And such transfer can be made for the benefit of person if the whole of the remaining interest, that means the unborn person will get the property absolute. If any other condition is there, then that is hit by section 13. Such a transfer is not there. First, understood this provision of section 13. Section 14 says the vesting of property. That means the giving right of the in respect of the property to the unborn person cannot be delayed beyond the lifetime of the intermediary who hold the property and the minority period of that unborn child, if born. So it is very clear. So this is rule against perpetuity. Section 30. Suppose most of the time you get a question, what is rule against perpetuity? Please explain. So you cannot ignore the provisions in section 30. You have to quote both the provisions and try to clarify the rules. That is how there will be a transfer in favor of one person, and how section 14 prohibits the condition that which restricts the giving of the property after attaining the majority of the minor child. Probably you are clear. Again and again, you go through both the sections word by word. Try to understand. Okay. Okay. Any other question? Section 13. Yes. The property is given to the intermediary for life. He get the property, he will enjoy the property for life. And after his death only, if the child is born, then you will get the property. So after his death, suppose child is not born, then the property will come back to the transferor. Okay. The property is not given to the intermediary in absolutely. Property will be given absolutely to the person, unborn person. That property is given for the benefit of unborn person, not to the intermediary. Intermediary will hold that property during his life. If that property is given to him only for if the life interest is created, so he will get the property and hold that property in life. So after him, the property will go with absolute right to the person who is, if he that person is born. Yes, try to understand. Again, I in this lecture I try to at least whatever little knowledge I have, I want to share with you. You try. There are other knowledge. Knowledge has no limit. Always, I cannot add anything to the law which is available. Which is law is to be read as law is. So you try to understand the law with reference to Bare Act. So you should have at least mastery on Bare Act. Bare Act language you should know.